Hello, welcome to Beach View, our podcast about all sorts of things and stuff.
Yes, and today we're doing another album, the next Death Cab for Cutie album, which is 2015's Kintsugi.
Yeah, Kintsugi. So, when was their album right before this? I was trying to look that up.
2011.
Okay, so it had been a few years since they had released something.
Yes.
So, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, so I have a bit of a story with this one. So
Ooh.
I mentioned on the last album that was the newest album when I started listening to them. So this was my first new release by them.
Ooh.
And I distinctly remember, for whatever reason, they released the first 4 tracks of this album, 2 of which are singles. I don't know why they released the other 2, but before the album came out.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, this stuff's pretty good. If the rest of the album's like this, I'll like this album. And then the rest of the album came out, and I did not like it.
Oh, no.
And in fact, this is only my 3rd time listening to this album.
Oh, really?
Once when it came out, a 2nd time a few years afterwards, and then the 3rd time for this podcast, because I didn't like it at all. And none of their other albums except their newest one, just because it's new. None of their other albums have I listened to that few times.
That's terrible.
The album's terrible.
I don't think it's terrible.
I didn't, I was softer on it this time than I had been, but, I think like I said, the first 4 songs are solid, 2 of which I think are really good, and the rest of it is a mix of, just mediocre and bad. So, still not a fan of this album, just a bit softer than I was when it came out.
So I did read online that people were annoyed that they released that many songs off the album, supposedly to stop leaks is what I read, but I don't know if that's accurate. But and that people had the same sentiment online, yeah, I thought I was really gonna like this album because I like the songs that they released, and then it's like someone compared it to when you see a movie trailer and it hits all the high points of the film and that's the best parts of the film, and then you see the film and it's terrible. So I was like, oh, that's pretty harsh. So I going into it, I was kind of okay, let's see what this is all about. But I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was awful. I did think, yeah, the first few songs were better, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just I don't know, there's it's weirdly kind of an 80s soft rock sound on a lot of these, and I just don't like that sound. Again, they're kind of past their prime, and I think it shows here. Lyrically, this is the worst they've ever been. There's some good lines, but there's also a lot of awkward phrases and just I don't know, some bad ones in there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really just not their best work.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I did like several songs on here, but I would say lyrically, I think some of the notes I have on the songs, I didn't love the lyrics. So
yeah,
I think you're right about that. But it's I wasn't disappointed listening to it though, but also I didn't listen to it when it came out, I don't have any kind of reference for the hype around it and then it being disappointing. This was basically brand new listen for me. So it did obviously have different quality and, sounds from the last ones that we listened to for the podcast, but
yeah.
I wasn't disappointed with it. I thought it was fine. It wasn't oh, I love this album, but I wasn't I hate it.
Yeah, I don't know that I got hyped for it and then it didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
But I think the first 4 songs are solid. Everything after that isn't great. It's weird in that way.
Yeah. I wonder why they did it. Why did they put put them in that order? Why didn't they kind of...
Yeah, and put the first 4 out early, which is kind of...
Yeah.
So I thought they were just 4 singles. I didn't find out until we were doing this podcast that I looked up and was oh no. Those were, 2 of those songs weren't singles.
Interesting. And I'm always I never understand, how do they know which ones are going to be good singles, but I guess that's why they, the music industry knows what it's doing. but yeah.
Well, they're looking at like different charts too than like, I mean, I don't know like what was going into, because this wasn't gonna play on like Billboard Top 40 stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Super interesting to me.
But I do believe it got play on alternative charts. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you want to get into it?
well, one more thing. I mentioned on the last album that it happened after the lead singer got married. And this is after their divorce, and it's very much a divorce album.
Yes. I was gonna bring in the context. I know you're not like a huge context person with the music, but to me, definitely listening to it from that point of view, you're like, okay. Definitely can see the influence of that. And also, this is when Chris Walla, right? Like, left the band, but he still performed on this album?
Yeah, he's still performed on this album. I think he's the producer on every album but this one.
Yeah.
And the ones going onward, and he's like with the producer, longtime contributor. So yeah, that was definitely like a story out of this.
Yeah, like a breakup album all around, it seems. So.
Yeah. Well, I think that I'm not sure that was like a breakup so much as like a sort of mutual departure. Breakup with a band implies it was kind of rough.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess yeah, let's say a new beginnings. But yeah, I thought that was also interesting context too, because I didn't know that previous to listening to it, and then I was like, oh, that could account for like its kind of different sound and that kind of stuff. So interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know that you need context for the divorce stuff, just because there's a lot of breakup songs in this.
Yeah, a lot, definitely.
So, definitely a theme in this album. Like there was a lot of love songs on the previous one.
It's very interesting, and I personally love how you can kind of read into what's going on in the album, like based on those like real life things. So because your mood and what you're going through influences you as an artist, I'm sure. So I don't know. I like a good breakup album.
Oh, this isn't a good breakup album, unfortunately.
Well,
yeah.
A for effort.
But I guess we'll get into it.
Okay. All right. We'll start off track 1, No Room in Frame. So I think this is a good song. I like the beat and the guitar. I mean, it is a little depressing. He basically saying we'll both be lonely with someone else. That's a really depressing thought. But
yeah,
definitely sounds like it's metaphor for his marriage and like his wife's fame. No room in the frame for two. A very interesting song.
Yeah, no, I really like this one. I really like the intro, sort of. I don't even know what that is. I guess that's like a synth, but I really like that sound. I like the guitar in this. Like how it's kind of a little bit upbeat for such a like sort of mournful song.
Yeah, I like that part too.
And I think there's like the you brought up, we'll both go on being lonely with someone else. I really like that one. I think that's one of their best, actually.
Yeah.
And I guess it's not a failure. We could help. We'll both go on being lonely with someone else.
Yeah. I thought the lyrics were good.
I also like the sentiment of like looking back at their relationship and like they were together, like in a relationship, but they were lonely.
Yeah.
And like the implication that they're both like, this is some unsolvable problem with themselves, that they're going to get in new relationships, but it's going to be the same problems.
Yeah. I thought that was, a really thoughtful line there. I thought it was like, I think a lot of people, I always say a lot of people can relate to that kind of thing. So I really like the lyrics on this one. And right off the bat, I thought it was a great opener for the album.
Yeah. And this and the next two songs, I would say, are sort of the last gasps for alternative rock.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know like what's on the alternative charts now, but at the time this came out, alternative was undergoing a transformation from like a rock subgenre to just like kind of being way more poppier.
Yeah.
And there was like a brief period in like when this album came out where there were still some like alt-rock stuff on the air, and this sound, it, like, really captures that. Like, I think they all sort of sound like this.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I really like that sound for, like, what I remember is, like, a little micro genre of alternative from, like,
Yeah,
2015 exactly.
exactly. No, I agree. I like that. I like the sound of this one. And I thought the same thing. Like, oh, it's starting off with this right off the bat. Like, it's gonna be a good album. I had hopes.
Yeah.
Yep. So, good song. Love that. All right.
Next.
Number 2, Black Sun. So this was another single, right?
This was a single.
Okay.
This is the first single.
Oh, the first single. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I like this one. I think it's a great song. I think it's like a little more catchy, and I just think like this is absolutely about the breakup with Zoe Deschanel. And I was reading like, I read that Ben Gibbard had said that this song was about squaring the past with the present. So I like that idea, but so the song I think has, those kinds of like opposing thoughts.
Yeah.
An answer and a question or hope within despair. So I like that. I like that this is like a breakup song.
Yeah. And I like the line, "How could something so fair be so cruel?"
Yes. Yeah. A lot of feelings.
I like the use of electronic sounds in the chorus there. The
Same.
guitars kind of drop out for a bit. And I like the gritty guitar that's in this, especially in the guitar solo, like in the bridge.
Yeah. I thought all around this is a great song.
Yeah, I mean, not my favorite on this album, but a solid song, a solid single. It's kind of also a darker, more understated song.
Yeah.
Good breakup
I
song
agree.
too.
Which I thought was interesting because it's a darker song. I mean, it's still sad, but to me, it had like kind of a more catchy vibe to it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I like how it's kind of like a post-mortem too.
Yeah.
Just sort of the like sort of scenes of there's whiskey in the water, and
Yeah.
later on, and there's a dumpster in the driveway of all the plans that come undone.
I love
Sort of
that
like
line. Yes.
a post-mortem there. Yeah. Yeah, good song.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we agree. Okay. Number 3, The Ghost of Beverly Drive. I like this one too. It sounds a little more upbeat. It's like kind of a more driving beat. One thing I'm not in love with, it sounds like it's kind of like a clap-like sound in the chorus. But I think this one does it like to me sound a little bit more like creative instrumentals. Like I kind of liked how like the different sounds and how they played together. But yeah, there's that one little sound that I just didn't like in there. I think that's my repetitive noise type of thing that I just can't handle.
Yeah, so yeah, I didn't notice that to like remark on it, so.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was like, oh, I don't like that part, but the rest of it I liked.
Yeah, I really like the guitar tone on this. I don't know if that's like a xylophone or just sort of like a synth thing that kind of sounds like one.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to like hear what instruments it was, and I'm not great at that. And I have the same thing. I was like, is there a xylophone in this? I have no idea.
So yeah, I think this is also like a really great chorus.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, like the best chorus on this album, hands down.
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, can you name a better one?
Probably not.
Yeah, I really like this song. I always like songs that are sort of reflective like this. Like sort of like more so like the past two, because these are breakup songs, are also reflective. But this is like return to the scenes of these crimes, like going back and sort of like dwelling in it, and that being sort of like a negative reflection. I don't know. I always like that theme in music for whatever reason, and it's done well here.
Yeah, I like it too. I think lyrically this is great. Like I said, as we get further into the album, there's some that I don't think are great lyrically either. So I enjoyed this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Good song. Oh, this was also a single. I didn't mention that at the top.
Yeah. Super interesting how people like the singles and then Didn't like the album.
I mean, that's not unusual for artists. I think that's probably unusual for Death Cab for Cutie, but...
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. All right. Number 4, Little Wanderer. I like the music a lot on this one, but I don't like the vocal delivery or the lyrics as much. Like I said, I really like the music, but I'm not in love with this song. I don't know why. I really don't like You're My Little Wanderer. I don't think
Yeah.
these are good lyrics.
Yeah, that's kind of a awkward, I would say, phrasing, like to call your romantic partner.
Yeah, and like I don't want to say it's like cheesy, but like there's
It
something
is.
about like You're My Little Wanderer. I'm just like coming from Death Cab. I'm kind of like I just am not into
Yeah,
it.
yeah, they don't go for that.
Yeah.
Even in that last album, they didn't go for this sort of thing, which was, like, has a lot of
Yeah.
love songs.
Right. I just thought it was kind of like a weird little like I don't know. I just didn't like it at all. Like a cutesy little name.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't like the vocal delivery. Like
Yeah,
I said,
it is
I don't
weak.
like the way they sing it. Yeah, I don't like it.
It's kind of slow, too.
But I think the music part is good.
Yeah, I think I like the song a bit better than you do, but, like, I agree with all the stuff you're saying with, like, the vocal delivery and the lyrics not being great, but the music being good.
Yeah. I'm like, if you could just do better with the vocals, I would actually really like this song. But what are you gonna do, you know?
Yeah, well, Jay, also, like, sort of a secondary theme that comes up in this, well, I guess it only comes up again at the end, but, like, technology.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think another song actually addresses this.
Yeah, I thought that kind of technology part was interesting, but I liked it better in the song further down the album.
I mean, I don't think either of them have anything compelling to say about it, but
yeah.
Also, this is a swerve thematically from the past 3, which were all breakup songs, and this is about a long-distance relationship.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting placement on the album.
I thought so too. Yeah, just I don't know, I felt like the song had some potential. Like the theme was okay, but it just I don't know, just didn't deliver for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like the guitar in this.
Yeah.
I like the
I
timbre,
like the guitar, too.
and it's got kind of like an atmospheric timbre in the melody, so,
Yeah.
I don't hate this song. It sounds like you're more negative on it than I am, even though we basically agree with like what we like and don't like about it.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Like I'm not like, being a hater about it. I just am like, not my fave. Yeah. Well,
Yep.
number 5.
Next.
You've Haunted Me All My Life. So this one sounds pretty. It feels like more stripped down. I like this one. It almost sounds a little folksy.
I don't know about that, but
I got a little
I guess the single
vibe.
guitar, but it's not really a folksy guitar. I guess a little bit.
I think like the singing over the guitar is what kind of made it sound a little folksy to me. And like I said, it's like a more stripped down, so I feel like it's that kind of gave me a folksy feeling, which I like. I liked it. It's a sad song still, but it's pretty, so I liked it.
Yeah, I don't know. The last 2 times I listened to this album, I absolutely hated this song.
Ooh,
This time I wasn't as harsh on it, but it's not great. One of their worst all-time choruses, "You are the mistress, I can't make a wife," is one of their worst lines. I think their worst line ever.
Ooh, that's
terrible
harsh.
line. I've always hated that.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think that's a good line. It's not delivered well either.
It didn't bother me, I would say.
But yeah, the guitar is nice. I don't hate the guitar, so I think that's what saves it for me on this listen, but...
Yeah, I like that. Just thought this was kind of like I said, like a prettier song. I liked it. I think You're My Little Wonder are worse lyrics than that line.
No.
Oh well.
Yeah, but yeah, this is also another song about, not a breakup, but like sort of a young love that they've been sort of caught on for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Which is, sort of a negative emotion, like negative relationship sort of deal, which again kind of weird for Little Wanderer to be placed where it is, given
Right?
3 breakup songs, a long distance relationship, and young love that didn't quite work out.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we could have like rearranged these to like be a little more chronological, you know?
Yeah, but
Tell the
eh,
story. But, you know, it's fine.
yeah, it's just interesting placement, I guess.
Yeah. So like the first 5 songs, I liked 4 of them.
Oh, I
So
also liked 4 of them, but we have different 4.
the different 4, yeah. So I was like, okay, this is getting off to a good start, you know? I was feeling it.
No, like by the time we hit this song, I'm just like every time I've listened to this is the point of no return.
Oh
There's some
no.
like fine songs coming up, but like nah.
Yeah. I would say I don't think I loved any of the ones coming up, but we'll see them go through my notes. But
Yeah, but this is definitely a step down, especially from the first 3, which I think are all good songs.
yeah.
And then it's just this.
Well, let's see if it gets better, shall we?
Yep.
Number 6, Hold No Guns. So, this is a kind of slower, quieter song. I think the guitar is nice. I don't mind the song, but again, it's not my favorite. You know, it's definitely a sad song. I do think this one would be great to hear live. It has like that vibe that like hearing it live I think would be better.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a solo acoustic and vocal song, which I'm never a huge fan of those.
I always think like those would be better live. Like those types of songs would be better live, but
I feel like those are worse live, but I don't know.
no, better live.
I don't know. I have heard too many people doing the acoustic
Yeah.
songs just randomly in public.
Yeah.
Or just like acoustic covers. That's like a really common cover because it's easy to do. I don't like the genre broadly.
I don't mind.
But like, I mean, this was written for it for one thing, but also like, I don't know, it's not a great song. I don't hate it, but like, it's just kind of boring.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same. I was like, I don't mind it, don't love it.
Like, also, if you want to get into like context, this is the only other time they've done this is "I Will Follow You Into the Dark," which is an incredible song, and this is like a
Yeah.
really poor follow up to it.
Oh, yeah.
They actually talked about that in the lead up to this. Was interviews like that this song they were worried about it because they already did "I Will Follow You Into the Dark."
Yeah.
They're like, well, maybe we shouldn't do another like just acoustic song, like with just the guitar and the vocals. But they decided to go with it anyways.
It's not terrible. Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree,
don't
it's not
like
as
it.
good as I Will Follow You Into the Dark. Yeah. Well, not great vibes there. Okay,
No.
let's move on. Number 7, Everything is a Ceiling. So this sounds almost 80s, 90-ish, like the little guitar sounds.
Yeah, this sounds like an 80s soft rock song to me.
Yeah, which I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
Don't like it.
I like the music. I think the beat is peppy.
Yeah, that's got those synths.
Yeah, it's got the synth. I like that kind of stuff. So I naturally like this song a little bit more. But speaking of like lyrics, I don't love the line digging with someone new. I just don't like that. Like it doesn't sound good to me.
I don't know. The main problem I have with this song is that it's very forgettable. When I was going through these again, like looking, pulling it up before we started recording, I was looking at the list and I was like, oh god, how does that song go? I had to look it up again and listen to it to be like, okay, it's this one.
That's me like every time, basically. I never remember like what song is this?
Well, it's very telling for me because I remember the rest of these and like, I've listened to these enough times that I can,
Yeah.
that I should know these.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I just don't like those lyrics.
I don't know. I don't like this one. It's another breakup song too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the digging thing's also like a metaphor that I don't think quite works.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it. Like, it's just not, I just don't think that's a good metaphor. I just don't like it.
Especially because they nailed the same sentiment with we'll both go on being lonely with someone else. Like,
Yeah.
way more succinctly, way better earlier in this album, so.
Yeah. I agree. But I like the music of it. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, I can get into this. And then I'm like, I really just don't like digging with someone new.
Yeah, this, no, I don't like the music in this, so. Not a good
Oh,
song.
well. We'll agree to disagree on the music, but I like the synthy. But anyway, all right. Number 8. Good help is so hard to find. I don't have a lot of notes on this. I like the song. Again, like, I'm not like totally in love with it, but I like it. I think the music and vocals are good. I didn't have a whole lot to say about it.
Yeah, this is a single,
Yeah.
and, yeah, this song's fine. I don't hate it. The chorus is, good. For whatever reason, the, line, there's a long, slow fade to a darkened stage really stuck with me.
Yeah.
I think that's neat.
I
But,
like that.
I don't know, the rest of the lyrics aren't great.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good overall song, but yeah, it just doesn't have, it's not like sucking me in or anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the guitar, though. And,
Yeah.
it's got, like, kind of a jaunty, upbeat vibe to it. It's kind of interesting.
I do like that. I like that aspect of it. You know, I'd listen again, but like I said, I'm not like absolutely in love with it, but I think it's a solid song.
Yeah, this is a decent chorus, which, like, that last album, I kept banging on about how much I like choruses on it, and, there's, like, it's just not there in the same way. This is, like, a less chorus-heavy album, I think, in general,
Yeah.
but still.
I could see that.
Just weaker in the writing.
Yeah, a little bit. Which, I mean, I would feel like after a divorce, I'd be like, oh, let me bare my soul and really get into this lyrically, but it just wasn't quite there.
Yeah, that's another. I mean, I guess it's maybe like an age thing. Like,
Maybe so. Yeah.
But, because they do have, like, sort of bearing your soul songs. Like, this is not super common in their discography, but they do exist.
Yeah.
And it's just, none of these breakup songs are quite that.
Right.
There's kind of a quiet reflection, more so.
Yeah, which is, I still like that, but lyrically I felt like it could be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, on to number 9.
Yep.
El Dorado. So, El Dorado is like this city of gold, of lore. This song is giving me like 70s vibes. Like, it immediately made me think of Blue Oyster Cult Don't Fear the Reaper.
Really?
Yes,
I don't
if you
see
go
that
listen
at
to,
all, no.
dude, go listen. Yes, go listen to Don't Fear the Reaper and then play this one, and like it's got the same vibe to me, like very similar vibes. Dude, do it. I'm telling you.
I'll do it right now. It just I know that song quite well. I don't think
I'm telling you, it gave me the same vibe.
It does sound like a older sort of guitar tone.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think these songs sound that similar.
Oh, it's giving me the same vibe, so we're gonna go with that. I like the song. He says the lyrics. I like the lyrics in this. I'm trying to be high for you. Like, he's struggling and trying to be something he's not. Like, I think these are more, I guess, like deeper lyrics or more reflective lyrics. Or I like this one.
I don't know. I don't like the lyrics. I mean, this is another breakup song.
Yeah.
Seems to be pretty obviously about their divorce.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Not a great song. I don't hate it.
You're not getting the same vibes.
It's not
you?
like
yeah.
Like there are worse songs on this album, but Don't Fear the Reaper's a much, much better song than this.
It is, but it's giving me like that vibe, so.
For one, it actually has a goddamn chorus.
True. Love that.
Yeah, no, I don't like this one.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the earlier songs on the album better, but this, I thought, for the second half was a good one.
That's the best I can do. Is it's not the worst song on the album.
High praise. Okay. Moving on. Number 10, Ingenue. This one feels softer. It's a little bit slower, which I like. Once again, I think there's, great beat, great guitar work. And I like how, like, kind of toward the middle of the song, it gets, like, more intense. So I think, like, the music to me, again, I liked better than the lyrics, but I thought it was a decent song.
Yeah, I don't know. Care for this sort of lyrics. But also, I don't know. This is just boring to me. Again, not the worst song, but like it. I don't know. I've never really cared for this one. I couldn't even tell you what it is. I just don't like it.
Well, I think it kind of tracks with like our taste, because whenever I hear a song, like especially when we were going through like some of Taylor Swift's, like when there's like a kind of a quieter, softer song, I'm like, oh, I like this vibe, and you're always like, no, it's boring. So I feel like that kind of tracks.
Okay, that's Taylor Swift specifically.
Well, I feel like the softer ones, you're like, it's boring no matter what.
I can like some softer songs. I don't know.
Not this one.
Again, I can't even really point to what it is about it.
Just not for you. I get it. Okay. Well, I mean, it's okay lyrically. It's not my favorite lyrically, but I think just because also, like, we're kind of saying compared to some of their older stuff that, I felt like lyrically was really good. This just kind of feels a little more basic, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of the songs on here are like that, and there's just like awkward phrases or stuff that kind of feels forced, and like, I don't know, none of their like older stuff felt like that to me. So
yeah, agree. I hate to say somebody's past their prime, because I feel like, like I always say, music evolves and styles evolve, and people, they change how they perform as they get older or whatever, etc. So I hate to say like past their prime. Like I know you're like,
I don't.
Definitely past their prime.
I've been saying that.
Yes. But yeah, I think this is kind of one of those that is definitely not in their prime song. So
yeah,
I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, this whole album, barring like the first 3 songs, is just like a cut below anything else they've done.
Yeah. You can kind of see that, but all right, let's get to number 11, Binary Sea. This is another softer song. I think the piano is nice in it, but this is another song that like I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It just sits right in that like mediocrity level. It's honestly the vocal delivery that I don't like about this song.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I like the message and the lyrics of like, it's kind of like that Pixar didn't happen kind of idea. Like, did it really happen if it's not documented type of feeling?
Common sentiment among people who kind of like, I don't even know if this is critiquing like the social media era of the internet, but I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan of that sort of messaging.
I don't mind the message.
Yeah, this song's fine. The piano's nice.
Yeah, I like the piano. It really shines in this song, but again, it's kind of like, not my favorite. Definitely agree that like I said, of the first 5 songs, I liked 4 of them, with mine being Little Wanderer that I didn't love. And then the rest of it was just kind of like, it's fine. It's not terrible,
Yeah, you got it wrong. There's not a first 5 songs. There's the first 4 songs, which are all... the 2 are really, really good. One of them's just, solid, and one of them's like, okay, fine. But yeah, I think that's what for me is really like, it's just a contrast between like, ranging from bad to kind of like, just okay, compared to, No Room in Frame and The Ghost of Beverly Drive, which I think are like really good. Like, really like those songs.
I agree with those songs, but, I think I'm a little more lenient on a couple of the other ones. I'm really surprised that this is only the 3rd time you've listened to the album. I just thought that you would have listened to it more, so that's saying a lot that you really don't love this album.
Yeah, I really hated it on first listen.
Oh, that's terrible.
And it took me years before I went back to it. When I went back to it, I was like, oh no, this I was right the first
Still
time.
not
Because
it.
I did try to give it a fair shot that second time, but I was like, no, I was right that first
Yeah.
time. And, again, I softened on it a bit, but still don't like it. Wouldn't listen to it again.
Yeah, I can see that. There's not a ton of albums that I'm like, ew, I don't like it. And I'm still not saying that about this one. It's okay. I'm like, let's keep those singles and just do away with the rest of the album.
Yeah, is an interesting point of, in their career, because the last album was definitely like a marriage album, had a lot of love songs on it, was a bit like brighter, more upbeat in places.
Yeah.
Kind of a different direction for them, and this is like definitely a breakup album. It's like a ton of breakup songs. It's got kind of a sadder and sometimes mellower sound to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, I kind of was surprised because I knew the context going in, and I do love a good breakup album, so I thought I would really like it a whole lot better.
Oddly not as depressing as Narrow Stairs.
That's very true. I felt like that when I was like depressing, like every
Yeah.
song. This one had some more upbeat, even though it did have some of that, sorrowful lyrics, but
Yeah.
wasn't as bad.
But this one's like it's more it's less like a depressing breakup and more like sort of trying to make sense of it, reflective.
Yeah, reflective, yes, exactly. Now, one thing I read online, like some critics were saying like without Chris Walla like producing it, that it had like a kind of an overproduced feel to it. I didn't think that. But
I'm notoriously bad at noticing production details. I just, for whatever reason, never been able to glom onto that very well. But like now that you say that, yeah, I can definitely see that. It does feel, maybe a bit overproduced, especially compared to their previous stuff.
I think, yeah, and I don't see it as overproduced. It definitely had, differences, but I thought, it's just a different sound. And a lot of these songs, like I said, I really liked the music, just like some of the vocal delivery and some of the lyrics I didn't love.
Yeah, then that's another, like, we keep hitting on it, but
yeah,
both of those have definitely gone downhill. I mean, we talked a bit about that on the last album, but like, I think comparatively, it's just way weaker. I think some of that is age. Like Ben Gibbard's just like he was never a like top tier fantastic singer, but I think he's definitely lost it a bit in age.
Oh well. So after this album, how many more albums are there?
Currently 2.
Ooh.
So, yeah, we are in the closing stretch unless they come out with a new one between now and when we record those next 2. I mean, I guess we'll probably cover it anyways. I don't know if it'll come out this year or not, or what, like, is happening there.
Ooh. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, any closing thoughts?
No, just, I don't know. Didn't like this album. Still don't like this album.
Well,
kind of more interesting for its place in their career than as an album itself.
Yeah, I could see that. I'll agree with you there. Yeah, and my thoughts wasn't terrible, wasn't the best.
But yeah, so that has been Beach View. Thanks for listening and tune in next time. Bye.
Bye.